This journey started a few months ago when I looked on my Phones Network's website and saw their amazing deal. An iPhone 6s for only $50. So I went into the store and asked the person about the deal, and she said that it was only for new customers and offered some horrible alternative deal. This seemed outrageous. Someone that had been a loyal customer for over 5 years can't get a deal close enough to what some random person off the street from nowhere can get? I took to complaining on social media but got no response at all. After calling the company to see if there was any better deal and visiting multiple different stores in person, we had no luck. So after a while, it was time for my birthday, and my previous iPhone SE I had been using for over a year was starting to get slow and its battery was quickly dying. So I decided to look on eBay for new phones. The only devices that were in my budget were old, damaged iPhone 6s's for well over $135, and I did not want to pay that. Out of curiosity, I decided to do a rogue search on the internet for iPhone 7 and happened to come across a listing from Virgin Mobile for a previously loved device that was locked to their network. Although I did not want to switch to Virgin, the phone was in matte black, like the best iPhone color ever, had 128 gigabytes of storage, only for $280. Now that deal was really hard to pass up. Oh, and I went on one of those coupon sites like Groupon or whatever, and they claimed Virgin was offering new customers 6 months of high-speed data for only $1. $1, I tell you. Looking too good to be true, I called up the company and asked if it was happening, and the lady said yes. So I asked the lady again. She said, sure, it is happening. And I said, am I actually gonna get this deal? And she said, certainly, sir. You will get this deal. So I quickly decided to order the phone, and after a few anxious days of waiting, this beautifully impeccable device arrived. I swear it looks like it was only used like once. And of course the phone doesn't look great at all because I've been using it for like 3 months without a case. But once I went to activate it, the company said the deal had ended a week ago, but I had called them and asked them about the deal only 3 days ago. What? For the next hour, I talked to corporate trying to see if they would make an exception for us, considering they had lied to us. You lied! All we got was a, well, you can send the phone back. Upset, I still decided that the phone was good enough to keep and activate it with the Virgin network, so now I just gotta review it. The first thing I noticed moving from the iPhone SE was the size, and boy is it nice. I'm not a fan of large phones. They're really hard to operate with only one hand, but with the 4.7-inch screen, everything is big enough, like the keyboard, especially compared to the iPhone SE. But I can still reach everything, especially with a pop socket on the back. The next thing is the build, and like most Apple devices, the strong aluminum feels very premium to the touch. It has a premium but not too heavy weight. One downside, however, is that it does not have wireless charging, which even when it was released was a feature on some Android phones. Also, the coating on the back can get smudged up very easily. Moving on the inside, the phone is fast. Like, really fast. Even for 2018 fast. Anything I throw at it is considerably faster than my SE, and it'll be a joy to use for a few more years. One thing else I love is the haptic engine. It is powerful but quiet, and paired with the operating system adding in a few little tweaks, like when you scroll through a list or use 3D touch, it really brings the phone to life. Also, 3D touch adds a really cool third layer to the device, almost like a right click on a real computer. But a right click that is only limited to things in the operating system. Third-party app developers have hardly implemented this feature in. It is useful and convenient, but only in a few places. Moving along, the camera is also very nice. Although it won't beat the iPhone XS or the beautiful Pixel 3, it holds some steam today. With its 12 megapixel f1.8 aperture camera, it captures a really good amount of detail and can handle portrait shots very well. The nice looking bokeh. It isn't like a real portrait that you get with a DSLR or one of those software things that Google does, but it still looks looks convincing and I still like the effect. And hands down, my favorite feature over the SE, however, is the optical image stabilization. Now, whenever I don't have professional camera gear, it doesn't look like I just drank 20 pots of coffee. I can easily record almost cinematic shots by just holding the camera, and I think that is amazing. I also wanted to include what I call a shake test. This is done with an iPhone SE sitting on a tripod, and this is done with the iPhone 7 sitting on a tripod. Now, isn't that amazing, guys? And here's also a test with me jumping. And you can really see the dramatic difference when I put them side by side. Finally, my complaints. To give it an IP67 water resistance rating, which is nice to have, by the way, Apple decided to remove the physical home button. And the artificial click is nice in that it allows you to customize your click and have a said faster response than the physical one. But since it must have an electrical current in order to activate, you can't click it with objects with your fingernail. Something that I got into the habit of doing with my SE. Also, something that got a lot of attention back when it was released is the removal of the headphone jack. Boy, why do they have to do this? Samsung can easily keep an IP68 water resistance rating and keep that jack. And darn you, Apple, you started the trend. Now Google's done it, Huawei's done it, every single phone manufacturer has done it. I've tried casually listening to music with my expensive headphones right here, and it doesn't work. I've tried plugging in my mixer board and to play some music while live streaming, and it doesn't work. I have resorted to listening to things on my old phone just for the convenience of not having to use a little dongle. Features are good, Apple. Why do you have to remove them? But that rant out of the way, and trust me, I've had that rant since 2016. Overall, I have been really happy with my new phone. I love the size, the speed, the haptic feedback, and the design. And although I miss the home button and the headphone jack a lot, I can live with it, especially saying I got this device for under $300. But if you wanted to give Apple $550 for this phone new, just don't do it. Please look on the used market, or at least buy an iPhone 8 for just $100 more, or maybe even consider an Android device like the super duper fast Pocophone F1.